Hey, welcome back to Be More to Do More podcast, where we help you to become the person you need to become to do the things you're called to do. Your boy Tone in the building and
Culture exec.
Yeah.
Henry A. Harden.
The what?
The third.
Don't forget the
3.
All right. If y'all noticed last week when we went over a few signs of career complacency.
Yep.
Now we're about to get right back into it. All right.
Compartmentalized living.
Compartmentalized. Oh, you got to talk to me about this one.
So what people make the mistake of, and we kind of just talked, I don't know if we talked about this episode or it was the last episode, or I don't remember. But people, I believe, right? Okay, because we talking about spiritual complacency, right?
Right.
So the number 4 sign of spiritual complacency is compartmentalized, not spiritual complacency.
See, we found out what the real topic is.
Is it spiritual complacency?
Nah, the real topic.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
But the career complacency.
Career complacency is compartmentalized living. You think that it's okay to be one way at work,
right?
One way at home,
right?
One way with this friend group,
right?
One way with this other friend group,
right?
When reality of it is, you have to be the same person consistently, because when you think about, and I think about it like this, right? The law of attraction, we just talked about, right? What you focus on expands, right?
Right.
When you think about the law of attraction, it picks up who you are. Mm-hmm. So you internally need to be who you need to be able to excel in every area of your life,
right?
Or in your career,
right?
So I guess I give you an example, right? What I mean by career complacency, right? Compartmentalized living and career complacency. When you have compartmentalized living and career complacency, you look at work like it's against your family.
Look at work like it's against your family.
And I don't know if I want to down this hill, but I'm gonna say it.
Go ahead.
Sometimes, and I 100% agree that it's different. Like as a single parent, it is different being a single parent than people that do have a support system and all those things, right?
Right.
Or have 2 parents, whatever, right? But sometimes our single parents look at their career as a hindrance to them being a parent. But the reality of it is their career will help them become a better parent if they're utilizing it in the way that it's designed to be used.
Okay. So compartmentalize. What was the original text for that, man? Because I can't say that I agree with that. What was the original text? Because Paul said, be all things to all people. So
like that's literally it, compartmentalized living.
So be all things. So what does that mean when Apostle Paul said, be all things to all people?
So what that means, right?
What is before I disagree, I want to get full understanding.
Because you're disagreeing based on that scripture.
Yeah.
So be all things to all people means that, okay, I don't know the real, because I'm not a ordained minister or anything.
Man,
but to me,
you still got revelation,
right? To me,
yeah.
There's a couple ways you can look at it. Number one,
okay.
But the first way, and we'll explore a second way if we need to. But the first way that you can look at it is, okay, if someone is sad, you be sad with them. If somebody's happy,
yeah, okay,
you be happy with them.
Right.
If somebody, so like, right. So that's one way of looking at it.
Right.
The other way of looking at it is sometimes, I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and they're in an interracial relationship, and they're talking about like how their spouse doesn't look at someone as a different color, like they just all. So that's what it means too, is that be all things to all people. Just because if you're around somebody that's, oh no, I got one for you.
Go ahead.
I got a better one for you.
Go ahead.
What this whole thing about, or my whole brand is about, right? The culture exec.
Right.
Be all things to all people.
Right.
If I'm talking to a 12-year-old that is in a gang,
right,
and they only understand YMW Melly or Kodak Black or or NBA Youngboy, right?
I know him.
If I'm talking to them, I need to be able to communicate my message to that person.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Or if I'm talking to a 40-year-old white man,
You gotta, yeah.
and about business and about success or whatever, I need to be able to be all things to him as well.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So in this particular convo, you're talking about compartmentalizing living.
Right.
So not being like a different person.
Right.
Okay, I see.
Have you have the same goal.
Right.
Like you have the same goal.
Yeah.
That you like, because it's in a spiritual way, right? Like, again, like you'll be, what I mean by, okay, like, because like, okay, if you have a conversation with me,
Right.
right? Or if I'm having a conversation, I'm gonna use me. If I have a conversation with you, and it's gonna be about business, boom, boom, whatever, right?
Right.
But if I'm having a conversation with somebody that I grew up with,
Right.
that I know they ain't really gonna talk about business or whatever, but God is still at the forefront of my mind.
Like,
I can't go into, oh yeah, go smash that or snort that.
Yeah,
or,
I see what you're saying.
I still have to be, but that don't mean that I'm judging them, or I don't mean I like.
Right, I see what you're saying.
I can still be like in that without being of that.
Understood. Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, you made it clear. Okay. Understood.
You
still have the same core values.
Yeah.
You still have the same core values, but because I know with me, different people pull different things from me. You know what I mean? So like, conversation is different, but the same goal. You know what I mean? Like my communication is different. That's all.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
So, but from a career perspective, it's mostly it comes from the work life and your home life. That's mostly what it is.
Mostly
like
work. Okay.
When it comes from like, because people like, oh, you get that job, everything, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, like my job enables me to be able to do X, Y, and Z, right? Like, oh, they'll replace you after, you die tomorrow. They're going to have you replaced by the time they put you in the ground, blah, blah, blah.
That's how I feel. But, okay.
It's true. It's true. No, it's true.
But
but you're not working for that. You're working because it's,
But see, okay.
But that's the type of complacency that starts to kick in. Is like, oh, I'm not going to give this everything I have.
No, I like that mentality.
It's, like.
So let's go even deeper on that one. Because it is true that I feel that way, but I just got hit because you just said something key. And as soon as I said I feel that way, that you're giving this job all you got. Scripture says, work for man as unto the Lord.
Does it say that?
Yeah.
Dang.
Let me find it, man. But the premise of that scripture though is, first of all, God is giving you the job. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's not really the job that you're submitting. You're submitting to the job, but you're submitting to Him, and you're allowing Him to change you through your career.
Right.
So now it's starting to make sense.
Right.
Okay. So now you understand. So by you saying that, man, this is deep, bro.
It's deep, bro. It's deep. Man.
Dang.
It's deep.
Dang. Jesus, I feel hit now. So I had like 1,000 jobs But anyway, so you're pretty much saying that the career is actually making you a better person if you learn to submit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a problem though. We don't want to. I think we don't want to
submit for sure.
We don't want to, but God says work. Man, let me find it. You want to?
Oh, I found it already. Colossians. It's Colossians song.
Yeah.
Colossians 3:23 and 20.
What does it say?
Whatever you do, work at it with your whole being for the Lord. I don't know. For the Lord, not for human masters. But they saying like work for the Lord, like you whatever you're doing. So like if you sweeping floors,
work for the Lord.
Sweep it for not for the purpose of your human masters or your boss.
Right.
Like, that's the trick of the devil, right? It's like,
it's like
that's
fire.
They try, like people try to, are you working for the man or whatever? Like, but nah, bro, like I'm doing this for my family.
Right.
Or like, again, like that's why I would go back to the single mothers or the single fathers, right? Like, like those individuals, man, like I know you got it tough.
Right.
Like you have it, this piece of flexibility, right? Like you have it tougher than most people. Mm-hmm. But just like other people like that don't have kids, they may have it tougher from a sense of feeling loved.
Right.
Like you have an advantage of being able to show love and be able to feel love than that person that may be single may not have.
That's true.
You know, with no kids, right?
There's always some advantage.
It's always some advantage, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes we get too much of it comes too much of a highlight on that I'm working and I'm being away from my kids as like, you know, like I don't want to say like a negative thing, but like, but it's like, and I get it, but it's all about what you're, and we'll get to, it's one of these.
Well, I kind of see it as like going back to the last one. You got to focus on the good. You got to focus on God.
You got to focus on God.
You got to.
Well, actually, I'm gonna go to the next one. I was going to say this one for last.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is the next one needs to be.
Perfect spot. Okay. What's number 4?
5.
What's number 5?
Lack of vision. Because I feel like lack of vision encompasses everything. You don't become complacent in your career when you know where you're going. Okay. But I feel like it's important for me to say this like right now because like I don't know. I just know how people think. So like the reality of it though, man, is like when you don't have a vision for where you want your life to go, that small sacrifice that you have to give up, it does feel like the end of the world.
Yeah.
And it does feel like nobody cares.
Yeah.
And it does feel like whatever, right? Because you don't know where you're going in life.
Right.
Or you don't know where you're going in your career.
Right.
And that's the problem.
Right.
So you have to have that vision for where you're going because the vision is almost like the antidote.
Yeah.
To all of these different factors.
Well, if I have to put one, I would have to put God first because he gives you the vision.
Yeah.
And then, you know, everything else.
Yeah.
But this may also be because I'm one of the people who sometimes I have the vision, but I have to be reminded of the vision because I get caught in the thick of things. So like when your feelings interfere, you start to see like you begin to become like short-sighted. So you need to be reminded of the vision.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So I know I'll go through that too, man. Like where I'm going through a lot. I just need to be reminded of, hey, now you need to get back to your vision. So
Yep. But here's number 6.
Number 6. We're number 6 already?
Yeah. It got to the end just like that, right? It goes we spent like all this time on the first 3 and then so because I think vision is just so simple, right? Like it just but like you talked about, like you spoke about, you said that you need to be reminded of your vision and reminded of where you want to go. Right. But also when you're complacent, you also lack correction. So the number 6 sign, the number 6 sign of career complacency is lack of correction. Nobody can't tell you nothing. You know everything. And I'm gonna tell you, man, this is so deep.
Jesus.
This is so deep.
Let's go there.
There's so many people that could be so much further along.
Let's go there.
In their situation, in their career, but they lack the ability to receive coaching and feedback.
Let's go there.
And not only receive it, being able to apply it.
Let's go there.
And I feel for those people because I understand that, dang, there's really nothing I can do to like help you because you're not gonna move until you see it, and I can't get you to see it. That only God can do that. Man,
I'm gonna have to. Okay, the Lord was talking to me about this too this week. I think he was just preparing me for this particular podcast. I don't know what it is, man, but I'm gonna give it to y'all because I can't be selfish. But he was telling me that a lack of self-discipline or a lack of discipline is derived from disobedience. So, number one, if we can't completely submit to God, even in our career, you know what I mean? Work wholeheartedly for the Lord, as you know, on your job as you work for the Lord. If we cannot submit to him wholeheartedly and be obedient, then we won't have any discipline. So we will reject discipline and correction. You see what I'm saying? So like, no submission to God, meaning no vision. No vision means no discipline. So whenever you get discipline, you reject discipline because you don't understand it, and you don't understand what it is for, because you're looking at it as is here to harm me more than help me. You see what I'm saying? And I can attest to that too, man. I've been through that too, bro. I'm just, man, I'm looking at myself like, yo,
Pow, pow, pow. Shots
yo,
fired.
yeah. I mean, I'm better now that I get older, because now I'm putting myself in position to be held accountable. So like I put myself in position to submit to elders, even with business partner like you, like, yo, just accountability. You know what I mean? Because when you have that, then you have correction and discipline, and not only discipline, but you have self-discipline, because I don't like to be disciplined by nobody, so I'm gonna discipline myself before I get disciplined by anybody else. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, man. And
that's something that I'm like, I ain't gonna say I'm struggling with now, is the correction, but like I gotta, and it's a continual journey, right? I always said I'm the most coachable person that you'll find, right? But I realized that I'm coachable with the things that I agree with. And if it's something I don't necessarily agree with,
right,
I'm not saying I'm not coachable on it, but it's like it is a little bit more of a fight, right?
Yeah.
So I had to check myself in that area recently. Like, you know what? Just do it.
Me too. Yeah.
Just do it.
I had, so remember I told you we was on the phone and I was talking to this one elder, and I told him because we had a church with another church, and I said I miss church. And he was like, that's not good.
Yeah, it's always that.
That's not good. And I'm like,
that felt worse than what he actually said,
bro. I was like, and I felt it right here.
Yeah.
Like, what you mean? Like, I ain't have no functions or nothing. We just, but even though he saw where I was like, okay, we didn't do nothing. We just had congregate, but I took the discipline and I sat with it. And I sat with what he actually said versus rejecting it mentally. Because what happened is that when we do receive correction, we automatically reject it if we don't like discipline. Mentally, subconsciously, we'll say, hey, whatever, I disagree, I do this. Well, I actually sat with what he said, and he was pretty much like, yo, people in church today is looking for any reason not to come to church or any reason not to follow you or whatever, right? And he said, it's your job not to give him one. And I'm like, that's deep. So I had to really let that permeate. You know what I mean? Like, I see. Okay. So that correction helped me, even though at first I disagreed, because I'm like, what? Like, we didn't have church. But anyway, but I was like, no, you know what? Let myself go and just embrace the correction and the discipline, man. And even within, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God, for the pulling down the strongholds and arguments, casting. What does it say? I gotta go to that scripture, but bringing every thought and imagination into captivity into the obedience of Jesus Christ. Like, we have a lot of internal arguments, and we have to be aware of those arguments, because if we're not, then we cannot receive correction. And if we can't receive correction, then we have no growth. This is why we have a lot of strongholds in our community, man, because these thought processes has been passed down from generation to generation without any correction, without any discipline. You know what I mean? So now I know, as a what they call it, generational curse breaker, stronghold breaker, I know that now I have to submit myself under some scrutiny that's going to be uncomfortable to the flesh, to the ego, to the pride, so that I can move forward and now pass this down to my son. Because it's more than just, I hear people in the Christian, I'm breaking generational curses. Hallelujah. They don't understand the process it is to go through those things. You got to put yourself under scrutiny. You know what I mean? And begin to look at things differently. But anyway, Yeah, man, that's that rant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 7.
It was good, man. It was good.
Number 7, I guess.
Number 7. The 7th sign
Well, what we got?
of career complacency.
Career.
What?
I forgot we was talking about careers.
Oh.
But go ahead. Over here preaching to myself, man. Go ahead.
The 7th sign of career complacency is, how do I want to say this?
Sad.
I'm going to say it like this.
Say it like that.
Being too busy.
Whoa. Oh, wait.
Bars. And like, it's like, you originally think about that, like, in my career, I'm supposed to be busy, right? Like like, what you doing? You so busy that and it's a couple ways, a couple different things, but for me right now,
this is deep, man. Go ahead.
You're too busy working in something, and you're not working on you. You don't even have time. You don't even have time to like prioritize your mental health.
Right. What? So
your spiritual health. Like you're so busy, and that's like it's one way of it, right? It's a couple ways. Like I said, it's a couple things.
Right.
You're so busy that like you just and you're burning yourself out because you're just so exhausted because you're too busy.
Okay. Here's
the other side of that. You're so busy that you're so busy that you aren't like you don't make time to do things that are really important.
Okay.
You know?
That's what
like things that really matter.
So I want to stick there because often, and I've seen this in a workplace where you ever call the manager and they're like always busy.
Yeah.
But you look at their numbers and you're like, what are you doing?
What are you doing all day? Like, what are you doing all day? Like you're talking about like I'm looking at your results. Your results suck. I'm just being real. Like your results suck. I don't care how busy you are.
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
I don't care because your results suck.
Man, I see this too often.
You know, like
right.
And at the end of the day, when you're in a career, you're there to do a job.
That's true.
And your job cannot be running around whatever. Like that's not your job.
I think it's
the job is to bring results.
You know, I think business can be an excuse.
1,000%.
I think business can be an excuse to it could be an excuse to prevent from working on something that can really move the needle, but it is uncomfortable for you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I remember I used to do that, bro. I used to be going back to my banking days. I pulled a lot of lessons from there. When I first became a banker, I used to stay on the teller line because that's why it was comfortable. That's where I came from. So at the end of the day, they was like, yo, what happened to this sit down? What happened to this sit down? Man, I was too busy on the teller line. But it was uncomfortable for me to sit down with people, you know, in that particular moment because, you know, I'm an introvert and like I didn't really do good at that time. I was like 20 something. I wasn't really good at conversations and stuff like that, man. But yeah, I was just really busy doing stuff that wasn't really helpful to my career. So yeah, man. But the older I get, the more I realize that I need discomfort. I think we talked about that earlier, right?
Yep.
Discomfort. So when you are okay with being uncomfortable, you find a way to really focus on things that you need to do that'll help you grow. That's one instant. But another one, when you talk about business, all I can think about is stillness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like mentally, like sometimes we can't hear God because we too busy mentally. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So how is it can we now have vision? How is it now can we can submit? How is it now that we can do all these things we need to do in our career, we can't be still and just really listen. You know what I mean? So sometimes we're just too busy mentally. We're too busy worried about things. We're too busy trying to make everything happen. Sometimes we just need to sit still, man, for our own health reasonings and purpose. So
I want to be able to recap what we just went through. And
right.
Here are the 7 signs of career complacency.
What we got?
Number 1, the idol of comfort.
Okay.
You're complacent because comfort has you.
Oh, that's
you don't have comfort.
Yeah.
Number 2, the grass is greener. Stay off of social media. It is designed to show you the great things that other people are doing.
But yeah, we posting this on social media.
Don't compare that to your life. Number 3, good news deficiency. Don't be blind to the good things that happen throughout your career.
Right.
Number 4, compartmentalized living. Your work life is not an enemy to your personal life. They work together. Number 5, lack of vision. You have to know where you're going for the sacrifices that you're making temporarily to make sense long term.
Preach.
Number 6, lack of correction.
Right.
Your lack of discipline drives your disobedience.
Okay.
I'm trying it again. Number 6, lack of correction. Your lack of discipline is driving your disobedience.
Cool.
And number 7, being too busy. Don't be busy doing nothing. Be still, analyze, get results. Bars.
Bars.
That's it, man.
Hey, man. So we there we have it, man. 7. Why I want to say 7 habits of highly effective people.
It should be right.
It's right. It's right there, man. I guess that book still stuck with me, man.
Good marketing.
Yeah, it is, right?
They got some good marketing, man.
For real, man. But man, there you have it, man. And I got an A tip.
What you got? What you got? A little bonus? Okay, little bonus. Okay, what you got?
Not writing it down.
Yeah. Hey, that's marketing right there, baby. Hey, you're a professional, man. He been doing it all day. You're a professional. I love it.
8th sign of career complacency, you don't write nothing down. So I suggest you to write everything down. And if you want to do that, man, go ahead and go to Amazon and get that What Am I Doing Right leadership journal, man. Hey, this journal is a game changer. You can tackle your goals. You can tackle your purpose. You can tackle... This is a holistic journal, man. So yeah. I'm loving it, man. You guys be sure to get that and do me a favor, man. Like this, share this, hit the bell.
Hit the bell.
Hit the bell, man. Let's get this information out of here, and we're out.
We're out.
All right.
When the lad told somebody keep their head up, cause you concerned about them. Stick and move, we can get it done. Call it unity, it ain't no way around it. Cultivating, we get motivation from the big guy. We don't play about them. Going hard for the game, showing.